Eventually, it became obvious that we had to leave. We're lucky that we aren't a big family, but our crops hadn't done too well in the last few years. We figured we'd be able to afford the trip, but it'd be tight. We were pretty close with our neighbors. They were the first ones to tell us about the move west. Thousands and thousands of acres, they said, and someone had to work on it. They didn't want to make the move, but we sure did. We loaded up at the end of June and started driving. As some little Oklahoma boy who hadn't seen much further than what was down the road, except for one time Mom and Bob took us to the state fair. We were very little. It was just so much. We tried not to make too many steps, though my sister didn't make that. Her and her damn little bladder told her to piss in a pan and throw it out the damn window. She didn't like that very much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. For the most part, we had all the food we needed, so long as we didn't need much more at one time. We didn't have a radio or nothing, but our mom sure had one of the best singing voices you'd ever heard. She'd sometimes sing when Pa asked, but not too much. For me, I was happy looking out the window, seeing all the scenery as we drove. Our Pa was a pretty smooth talker, too. We'd have to stop for gas or something, and he'd come back smiling, a loaf of bread in his hand. He'd tell us they'd got such a deal from the owner, or guys in so much sympathy. Their folks, too, were headed west, or their neighbors, or friends, or something. I always figured that he wasn't being totally honest with us, but he never told. I never asked either. So we were getting closer to California, and the food was getting thinner, and Ma's temper was getting thinner when we finally settled into a camp for the night. I was so little that I don't remember how much it cost, just that it was pretty steep for our little family. But Pa still forked it over, and we pitched our tent that night and slept straight through till morning without a peep. The next morning, we split some coffee and dough with our neighbors for breakfast, tried our best to clean ourselves up if we could, and went on our way. Usually, Ma and Pa would talk with the adults, and I would try to talk to some kids that I could find, but sometimes they weren't good company at all. Usually, they'd be alright, but we'd be able to run about, especially as we got closer. I remember Ma and Pa talking to each other in the tent by themselves, or in the front seat of the car. There was a little low, hushed voices and shaking their heads. In the back of my mind, I knew something was up, but I don't think that I could have really understood it, Apparently, Pa was worried about work. There was less of it than he thought, and they were hardly getting paid. My Pa, a very big money worrier. After a few days of floating around, we finally found something, but we didn't stay there long. Found something else, and then something else, and we finally stayed at the fourth place for a few weeks. I guess it was a good gig, because we came back every year for a few years. We had a little place to stay with running water and stuff, and we got some money. And it seemed like it worked. We had made it. Eventually I got big enough to work too, so I did. I still am. It's been working pretty well, and I think I'll come back next year.